Guatemalan geek, I guess, right? So you can thank him your cybersecurity. So next time you see that, come in Guatemala, which is El Mirador. I don't know if you've heard, La Danta. Morgan Freeman has been featuring some of these amazing monuments in Nat Geo documentals. You can actually see it in Netflix. Yeah.
Did you know, prior to the colonization of Spain, Guatemala was one of the 6 different civilizations that were once known as Mesoamerica? You didn't know that, did you? Did you also know Guatemala was a Mayan empire in Mesoamerica? Yes, they were. Wherever you go in Guatemala, you'll see anything that's Mayan related. Facts about Guatemala. Known as the Republic of Guatemala, Guatemala is home to 17.263 million people. That is a lot of people. Guatemala has 22 political divisions. Their capital city is Guatemala City. Those wanting to spend money in Guatemala, their currency is known as the quetzal. The current exchange rate is 7.35 quetzal to $1. You heard that right. The official language is obviously Spanish, and those wanting to go to Guatemala may experience from May to October the rainy season, and the average temperature is 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 22 degrees Celsius. Very comfortable. Comfortable that is. Guatemala, as I heard, is very tropical and rainforest-like and very green. Guatemala has a vast diversity in natural and cultural attractions. Autonomous culture, 22 ethnologistic groups, which are the product of Mayan and Chinca heritage and Spanish colonial influence. Those are known as the autonomous culture. 41% of the population are mestizos, 38.9% are indigenous Amerindians, and 18.5% are whites, and 1% is Afro-Caribbean, and 0.6% are Asians. Guatemala has known 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the La Antigua Guatemala, which is cultural, the Cal, which is natural culture, and Coriquia, which is the cultural part also of Guatemala. Guatemala are known for their natural products, and those natural Guatemalan products are aged rums, coffee, and cardamom. Coffee I know because I've tasted Guatemalan coffee before, and it's very rich, dark, and yes, it's really good. You could actually find Guatemalan coffee beans wherever you go, one of them being even the coffee itself at Blue Bottle Company Coffee, and elsewhere. You could also find them in Pete's Coffee. Yes, coffee is one of their biggest exports. For those who do not know what cardamom is, it is a spice made from seeds. It's basically spice. The top sites to visit in Guatemala, as you can see, are Pacaya, Rio Dulce, Sumuk Champe, Chacal, and Acatenango. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Let's start with Pacaya. Pacaya is an active, complex volcano in Guatemala, and most of the tourists and visitors that visit Pacaya have the tendency to hike up to the volcano and get that curiosity of visiting an active volcano. In fact, another active volcano that you may know of is in Hawaii, and people have done that in years prior. Also, you can horseback up to Pacaya. There is horseback trails that you can visit Pacaya. Next is Rio Dulce, a popular cruising sailboat destination in Guatemala. I just said it, that sums it up there. No, but it is a popular place to go sailing, go around the river of Rio Dulce. It is a river, and it is a wonderful place to visit. Next is Samuk Champe. It is inside the natural monument. It is a natural monument to be exact, and is located in Alta Verespa, Guatemala, near Coqueche, in the Mayan town of Loquin. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Again, the National Monument of Samuk Champe. It is a different pools, as you can see in the picture, and worth visiting. Next, another volcano with hiking trails known as Acatenango, and it's located in Guatemala. And it's famous because it actually is a perfect cone-shaped volcano. Another one that is perfectly cone that I personally have seen. Let me take that back. That I have not personally seen that I really want to go see is in the Philippines, and it's in Legazpi, Philippines. And it's a perfect, again, this is a perfect cone volcano. And I would not be surprised if the Acatenango is the sister volcano to the volcano of the Mayon volcano in Legazpi, Philippines. Next is Tikal, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO, is United Nations, but Tikal, for those who don't know what Tikal is it is a Mayan territory. Well, it's not Mayan territory. It is Mayan territory, but it is also Mayan. It is a Mayan historical site, and it is where you can see a wonderful Mayan pyramid, as well as it is also, you may have seen Star Wars: The New Hope. Tikal was featured there, and for those who don't know, we've always referenced Tikal as the center of the Mayan calendar. Now you know. So Tikal, Acatenango, Samuk Champe, Pacaya, and Rio Doce are the top sites to visit in Guatemala. One site to mention that I forgot to mention is Santa Catalina Arch, located in Antigua, Guatemala, and it is known as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And when you come to this wonderful site, in fact, Guatemala is, Antigua, Guatemala to be exact, is the whole town is known as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And one of the coolest things when visiting is the view of the Volcan de Agua. That's what lures people to visit, plus the arch and the history of Antigua, Guatemala. Guatemala, as I mentioned before, has 22 political divisions, but within those divisions are the overall regions. Those regions are Guatemala, the modern and colonial, the highlands, the living Mayan culture, the Pentateuch, adventure in the world of Mayan, Isabel, a green Caribbean, the Verespices, natural paradise as it's known. The east part of Guatemala is the mystic and natural, and the Pacific side of Guatemala is the magic and diverse. How to get to Guatemala? Guatemala by air. There are air flights that you can fly into Guatemala. In fact, 2 international airports. Mundo Maya International Airport, located in Petén at 507 kilometers from Guatemala City. And the most famous one and the most busiest one is La Llorona International Airport, which has 260 weekly flights to the United States, Mexico, Central America, Colombia, and Spain. In fact, some of the top airlines that actually flies to Guatemala, especially flying into La Llorona, is Avianca, Aeromexico, Copa, Iberia, American Airlines, United, Interjet, Spirit, I believe it's Viomos, and one of the most top-rated airlines that actually flies into it that I personally would suggest flying on is Delta Airlines. As you can see, Guatemala is accessible by airplane. From New York to Guatemala is about 4.5 hours, or 4 hours and 50 minutes. From Los Angeles, it's 6 hours. Miami, 2.5 hours. And Washington, D.C., 4 hours and 15 minutes. If you're coming from abroad, like Madrid, 11 hours and 30 minutes. And Bogota, which is not too far, 3 hours and 17 minutes. Sea connectivity. Those going by cruise to Guatemala is accessible via your cruise. Did you know that there are 250 miles of distance between the Atlantic Ocean side of Guatemala to the Pacific Ocean side of Guatemala? Now you know. And in order to get to the Atlantic Ocean side, to the Pacific side of Guatemala via cruise ship, you have to go all the way down through the Panama Canal, and then work your way up to the Pacific side of Guatemala. Now you know, right? Now you know that too. Well, Guatemala's main ports are Tomas de Castilla Port, Puerto Barrios Port, and Puerto Quetzal Port. Tomas de Castilla Port in the Atlantic Ocean side has 30 cruise ships that dock there. This particular port is close to El Morador and Rio Dulce, which I've mentioned before. You can plan a day if the cruise stays overnight to visit Tikal and the National Monument Simbuk Champe. Puerto Barrio Port is another cruise port also in the Atlantic Ocean side of Guatemala. Puerto Quetzal Port in the Pacific Ocean side of Guatemala has 65 cruise ships that dock there. Those who visit that port via cruise to Guatemala into Puerto Quetzal will be able to visit Volcan de Agua, Antigua, Pacaya, Acatenango, and Guatemala City. Cruise lines that visit Guatemala, and I know it's out of curiosity for those who want to visit Guatemala by cruise, are Azamara, Celebrity, Costa, Crystal, Cunard, Holland America, Norwegian, Oceana, Princess, Regent, Royal Caribbean, Silver Sea. Those are some of the mainland cruise lines that you know that visit Guatemala from the United States. For all things Guatemala and to learn about the country, visit www.visitguatemala.com. Tourism plays a big part for the country. So much culture and history are in this country. I know I will be visiting the country with wonderful friends and resources. Lastly, let Melchor Jets Dream Vacations plan your Guatemala vacation. Contact us and visit us at www.melchorjets.com. With that being said, happy travels, everybody.